Well, on the boat. Well, actually, on the train to the boat. Sorry.
On the train to the boat to get onto the train on another continent.
Yeah.
It'll be safe in Europe.
Yeah, Europe's fine. I mean, we already had the war to end all wars. War's over.
Yeah, there'll never be another one out there ever again.
Never. We're done. We're done with war. It's not happening anymore.
Yeah, so we'll be covering that, but if you end up with like a personal goal, I guess something to think about.
I mean, I'm mad at Mr. Wonderful, but I don't know what happened to him. And I'm mad at Sikovic, because he's threatening the people I love. Oh, and me, but mostly people I love. So I was going to write down remove a threat to the city, because I have to save the city. This is my city.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I'm the hero of Tricoga. I'm a rich nut job punching people in the dark.
Yeah, perfect. Though I guess it would be good to like specify which threat you might be more concerned about.
Well, I thought if I left it open-ended, that means that once I solve one of them, I get a reward.
Yeah, that's true. So we'll let you pick up on like the one you want to focus on naturally.
I mean, basically,
we'll see how it goes.
My next goal is more justice.
It's real because I think like happened to your parents though.
My parents died in a plane crash.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I got my goal.
Sweet.
Debunk a spiritualist. The ones who go, okay, I'm getting it. The ones who take advantage of peace, saying, I can speak to the dead. Like, I'm getting it. I'm getting a, am I getting an A? Am I getting the name
Perfect,
J?
Yeah. Find a cold reader and call them out or something. And then they'll pick your card from a deck or something.
I know one of those. I can get you in touch with one of those.
No. The ones who take advantage of people, the ones who say they can contact the dead, the ones who take advantage of people, the ones who.
I have one that I hope is that way, and I would love for you to debunk them.
Yeah. The ones who don't do it for entertainment, the ones who think they're legitimate, that kind of people.
I mean, I think this guy's a real asshole.
Okay. So we're all here. We all at least understand. We have goals. You can think of a new one, whatever you want, Dante. Doesn't matter.
I already got one.
Sweet. Cool. What'd you pick?
Consult Timothy about his power.
Consult Timothy about his power. So, what's the actionable result you want from that?
I mean, talking to him will have some result. What the action of that result
I mean, orienting
will be...
the goal around like something that you want out of it, not just going to do the talk, I guess.
Well, I've been wanting to
I feel like that's a more positive
I've been wanting to do this talk for like 15 sessions now. I don't know how many sessions we're in, like 10 sessions now. So this is just something I've wanted to do for a long time.
Okay, that's perfectly fine.
Goal is just my way of incentivizing the action to happen.
Right, so we'll work on that, and I can keep it in mind now, and maybe this is even the session to make it happen. Okay, so we are missing Hugo today, which is unfortunate, because I was hoping I would be able to open up with him, but let's go ahead and begin. Let's see. Welcome back, everybody, to Urban Jungle. Our city takes place in the city Tricoga, in a not too dissimilar 1920s America full of gangsters, cultists, and animal people. Joining us today are our players. Let's start with Theta. Who are you playing?
I am Dante, the original famous sloth magician. My personality is mercurial. My motto is I always have a plan, and I currently have 2 goals. Count them 2.
All right, then. Norman, what you got?
Yes, hello. I am playing Claudia Greathouse, a.k.a. the Woman in Black. Where I am a fox-rich masked adventurer / monster hunter.
Amazing! And hunted monsters you have.
My motto is justice, tempered by mercy. My goal is to remove one of the dangerous threats to all the innocent people in this city.
Yeah! All right, and following up, EHH, who are you playing today?
James Green, a deer source a deer knight debunker, and his motto is there's got to be a logical explanation.
All right, excellent. So let's see. So I do have to work around a little bit of text here, but it has been a long drive back from Cabot's tour. I believe it was 3 days, wasn't it?
I think it was. I think it's either 3 days. It's probably more than a 3-day drive. It's a 2-day train ride.
I think you said. I think you only add 1 day for the drive, but that's still a long while for Martin to be stuck in the back seat, or rather, with the rest of the boxes. He's not too pleased by the time you get back in the evening on the third night. Let's see. So skipping over this little bit, you will ultimately arrive back in the city intact with a crate full of rocky monster bits of all thing. Is there anything you would immediately wish to do upon returning to the city at night? Dante.
Well, I gotta go check in on Sal.
Right, of course. You can go check in on Sal, go knock at his apartment just down the hall from you, see him, and you can have a pleasant evening with him ultimately.
Oh no, remember Sal was looking after Timothy?
No, I thought it was Emmett. Martin left Timothy with Emmett.
And I left Sal with Timothy.
Okay.
It was told to me that Timothy didn't need somebody to watch him, and I insisted that Sal do it anyway.
I guess I got confused because I assumed Martin had custody of his younger brother.
He does,
anyway.
But Martin isn't all that old.
Yeah. Anyway, so you're ultimately checking on Sal so that you could check in on Timothy and see how basically the week has gone without you, right?
Right.
Okay. Sal is spending his evening at home. You'll find him there. Timothy is not with him. And he will explain that Emmett has been looking after Timothy for the most part, but he's gone down to the library to check on the young lad. While he hasn't really had any work with you for the time being.
I need a quick and stupid reminder. Who's Emmett?
Emmett is the librarian.
Oh, the woman.
For a woman, yes.
Oh no, I'm getting confused every time you say it because I keep forgetting that in your mind Emmett is a woman's name.
It is. I randomly generated it as a woman's name. So there we go. It's now officially.
Yes, Doc Emmett Brown. That old woman.
Exactly. But yes. So the librarian has been keeping track of Timothy, and Sal will explain that he ought to be there that evening. Over with Miss Emmett, over at her place. Martin had already left the vehicle as soon as you got back and explained that he was going to go ahead and head over to recover Timothy. So it's likely he's already there.
All right.
Okay. And quick pass. James, would you be doing anything immediately on getting back into town? EHH.
At night, I go to my apartment and sleep.
All right, so you're just gonna chill come morning. Good, perfect. At least now I know where everyone sort of is. Dante, were you gonna try pressing a meeting this evening, or were you gonna just do something tomorrow?
What time is it?
You got back sometime around 6 or 7 in the evening.
Yeah, sure. I don't see why not. I'll take Martin and Timothy out for dinner or something.
Okay. You can go ahead and head to Martin's apartment. And meet Martin and Timothy there. He's happy to see you again, but he does seem like he's still rather exhausted. Can I help you, Dante?
Yes, I was wondering if you two might be interested in grabbing a bite to eat.
Well, there's not much here right now. I could take you up on that. Sure. You're paying, right?
Of course.
Well, I'm all for it. Hey, Timothy, let's get your coat. And he will make sure Timothy is ready, put on his hat. And the duo are ready to go with you. Timothy seems in good spirits for now. Where would you go?
I don't know. Give me some options.
Well, are you going to go somewhere fancy or somewhere cheap?
No, like a diner.
Okay.
Like a
I think you took them to a diner before, so let's say you stopped by the same place.
Did I?
I'm reasonably certain you did quite some time ago.
I don't remember this. I remember going to their apartment. I remember them bringing them to my show. I don't remember ever taking them to a diner.
Well, now you have for sure. It's a cozy little diner just named after the cook in question.
Mel's Diner.
And as they're sitting there, Timothy will kind of like muse over a menu and kind of go, I don't know, and have a hard time picking out what he wants. And Martin is trying to like steer him towards actually ordering something.
How about the spaghetti with carrots and white sauce?
Yeah, see, Timothy, that sounds great, doesn't it? You want that, right? And Timothy will just roll his head and go, I don't know. And Martin will sigh, go, Timothy, you do have to eat tonight. And Martin will just harangue his head and order up your suggestion for Timothy anyway. So, Martin will say as he like relaxes, now with a cup of coffee after being after drinks have been brought out. Whole week goes by, a lot of it just driving, and I feel like I didn't accomplish much of anything. What about you?
What, you do not appreciate the show?
I didn't stick around for it.
Oh, I thought you were a fan.
Well, I was there to help the workers out there. And I guess help John too. Or no, James, that's right. And he just snaps his fingers as if remembering. God, I'm tired. But I don't know anymore. That weird alligator thing. Is that what they're doing up there?
I'm sorry, what
Raising
alligator
wild
thing?
animals?
What alligator thing are you talking about?
It ate my contact. He says like a little incredulously. Man died getting eaten alive by him.
Actually, yeah, I don't know what would have happened to the Union, but he was killed on the mining. Hang around long enough for you guys to find out what they did.
Yes,
Not only that, they killed someone else the same way.
You might remember I was in the performance of an act. I do not know what you are talking about.
And is that why Zamek loaded up all those rocks into that box, huh?
I mean, if the man has a hobby, am I to stop him from rock collecting?
Look, Dante, I don't think you're so oblivious and stupid you don't realize that something came screaming down the mountain. I'm pretty sure Zamek dealt with it. Probably James too, but James seemed a little shaken up. I didn't want to bother him about that.
If I were to have to guess, how long do I think it would be until our food was ready?
You'd say probably a good 10 minutes.
10 minutes? Okay. I'm gonna stop talking to Martin for a moment and look at Timothy. Timothy, there has been a time now that I've been meaning to speak to you about something that I was hoping to speak to you in privately, but it's fine. Martin can be right here. He does not need to concern himself.
Martin sort of raises an eyebrow at you.
Hold on one moment, Martin. We will get back to you in just one moment. Timothy, the other day, when you were watching my show, did you do something to me?
Other day? Oh, you mean last week?
God, no. I think it's been more than a week now. This has probably been 2 weeks ago.
Has it? And he just sort of pulls up his hand and he starts pulling out little fuzzy fingers and counting them. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you're right.
Right, but the question I just asked.
What question?
Did you do something at the show, Timothy?
For that, I'll probably make you make a roll. You're trying to question him.
I'm asking a question. I mean, if he doesn't want to answer.
Right, but the implicit, you want the information, right?
Right, I guess.
He will generally clam up and start kind of avoiding talking about it. He'll go, I liked your show.
Right. But that doesn't... That's good. I like that you liked my show. It's the reason I do these acts for people like you.
Yeah.
So did you do something at my show?
And Timothy will just kind of go, we're going to go back again, right, Martin? And just like gives him a shove. And Martin is halfway through sipping some coffee and chokes for a second and go, yeah, we can go back. What? Dante, did something happen?
1 second, Martin. As I said, we'll be right back with you. Timothy,
No,
it's
hold on.
very important that you answer me honestly. I'm not mad. I'm not concerned at all. I just want to know.
He didn't mess with some tools or something, did he?
Martin, I'll be right with you. Timothy. If you could just please answer the question, I assure you you're not in trouble.
Martin is going to literally just put a hand like out in front of Timothy and give you a little bit of a look. I'd appreciate it if you told me what was going on here.
Martin! And I stare at him, and I am going to use something right now.
What are you doing? You have 1, 2, 3 successes.
I am tapping Masterful Casting to make this a build roll. The very first build roll of the game.
Interesting.
6 successes. Suggestion, I think, is what
2,
I'm looking
3.
for here. Speak as a command. I'm going to try a suggestion. They need to roll their mind, will, deceit, and negotiation as resist.
Both of them are just Martin.
Just Martin.
Alright, so say that out loud again.
Mind, will, deceit, and negotiation. And just for the sake of saying it, because I have to say it regardless of what he does or not, I said, Martin, please just wait and enjoy your meal. We will speak again after I am done with Timothy.
Let's take a look. So the highest he rolled was a 6. He does not have either of those. I believe your 8 still beats him out, and it does affect him, correct?
I believe so.
as opposed to.
Well, is he a major character? I mean, you made him a character, so.
Yes, he is a major character quite officially at this point.
Major character must tap soaks that total up to the number of successes you scored, or all fall victim to my suggestion. So you have that option on the table. If you can tap 6 successes worth of soaks.
He couldn't go panic and injured, but that's really awkward for a dinner table talk. So I'm going to opt to not do that. He is affected.
Alright, so he will, I guess, stop interrupting and go back to patiently waiting and then eating his food if it arrives.
He picks up his coffee and takes another calm sip of it.
Alright, Timothy, as you were.
What? Martin? And he just, gives him, a little shake, and Martin just takes another sip.
Do not worry. Martin is alright. As I said, you're not in any trouble. I am just concerned for your well-being, Timothy. I do enjoy you as a fan, and I believe that you recognized something that night, and you were testing me, were you not?
At this point, you still do need to try to get him to open up. So I will ask for you to do mind, will, and questioning to make him actually respond to you.
Well, not make him.
Well, right, you're not holding a hand over him ready to slap him or something, but you have to encourage him enough to do so.
Right, well, because if I was making him, I'd be rolling presence. I'm not making him. I just want him to
Right,
answer.
and so far you're only questioning him. You could maybe try to negotiate with him or something like that, but I'm not sure.
Doesn't matter. I don't have either of these things. Unfortunately, all I do have is a what's that dice called? Opinion die.
Yes, that is a D6 right now because all the opinions have dwindled.
Doesn't matter because I only rolled a 1 when I rolled a D8 because you didn't say that before
Yup.
I rolled it.
Yeah, I see that, but you still got 2 successes, and he'll kind of rub his shoulder a little bit and go, I just wanted to see how you were doing your tricks, you know?
Yes, it's fine. I would suggest you not do that on any other magicians. You see, the art of stage magic is it's a very no-holds-barred business.
I didn't mean for that to happen. It just sometimes when I think really hard and it doesn't work right, and I'm sorry.
No reason to be sorry. Nobody got hurt, and that is the very important thing. The reason I asked Timothy is that it seems to me that if you weren't in control of your powers, that perhaps...
Oh, you got cut off at, it seems to me.
It seems to me that it is very important that we work on your ability to control your power so that other people do not get hurt.
Control?
Right, so that, it does not happen that when you just think about things that they happen, but instead only when you intend for things to happen that they happen.
Well, I mean, when I try to think about thinking of other people thinking, I usually think about that, right?
Right, but we can't
But it's the things that I don't think about people thinking that they think that doesn't.
Right, but we cannot...
And he's gesticulating quite wildly at this point.
Right, but we can't think about thinking about things that other people are thinking about, because we have to think about the things that we are thinking about that they think about, so that then we think that things will happen.
Yeah, so I get that.
Right. Which is why we must control the way that we think about the things that we think should happen, and way only the things that we think should happen, and then think that other people think things should happen.
So what are you thinking then?
That we work on this.
How? Do I just do it more, or?
I believe so. I believe that these things are like muscles, right? That you have to work them, in order for them to get stronger.
He gives like a moan and like leans back. It's like, no, that's what my teachers say.
Sure.
I don't want to work.
Can I tell you a secret, Timothy?
Yeah, secret.
I dropped out of school at an early age. It did me no sorts of good.
If you said anything after that, I didn't hear it.
What's the last thing you heard?
Can I tell you a secret?
I dropped out of school at an early age. It did me no sorts of good.
Wow. I could drop out like you.
Sure, why not?
Martin takes another sip of coffee.
But
Quick read on suggestion. It doesn't blank his mind or anything, does it?
No, that's why I have forgetfulness for later.
Right. And about this time, I believe, the food arrives.
Right, and sure, Martin will start eating happily, because that's what he's here to do.
Yup. And, of course, even with the suggestion, he will make sure that he ties a napkin around Timothy's neck, has him hold his cutlery correctly, and tries to correct him as he just scoops up a metric ton of noodles and stuffs them straight at his face.
Of course. Adorable.
So how can I drop out? He tries to muffle through his food.
I tell you what, Timothy. If we start working on your ability to control your power in a reasonable manner, and that I see that you have started showing promise in this field, I will see to it that you're able to drop out of school.
Wow.
But we have to make an agreement here and now that this is what will happen.
And I don't gotta do anything?
Well, we have to do the things that we just said that would happen.
Oh, right, working out. And he seems to think very, very deeply about that thought for a second.
You see, Timothy, the thing that you're doing right now, that is exactly what I need you to do. It's not so hard. Thinking about things.
So, I can think about things. Can I think about what you're thinking?
I don't know, can you? What am I thinking right now, Timothy?
That's what I want to know.
Well, then apparently not.
Let's see. I'm gonna pull that up real quick. Because he will go ahead and attempt to cause the entire place to collapse. Read your mind. Let's take a look. So,
I mean, that's fine. If you can do either one of those things, I'll be highly impressed.
Let's see.
I'll also have to roll up a new character, but whatever.
I'm just trying to see what your opposition roll is. There you go. You are rolling Mind, Will, Deceit, and Presence to resist. Unless, of course, I suppose you're not resisting, but...
If he's trying to read my mind, I will not resist. If he's trying to bring the whole building down on top of me, I will resist.
Yeah, that's perfectly fair. It's just going to be the brain. Mind, Will, Questioning. Let's go ahead and have him roll. Mind, Will... Oh, I don't actually have his sheet filled out. What a pain. I'm just going to roll dice. Because I don't want to look it up. Alright, that's perfect. He looks at you, and you can see his eyes are focused and unblinking. Dante, what are your full thoughts and intentions about this? Or at least, what are you thinking on the surface here?
Probably as a mental image of him at the theater, practicing, like, psychometrics and whatnot. Lifting objects with his mind, or whatever.
What's kind of your motive at the end of the day for this?
My motive?
Yes.
I'm like a dog chasing a car. Do I look like a man with a plan? Yes, because that's my motive. I just
Dante, without a plan?
I want him to not have an accident. I'm concerned
Alright.
for his general well-being and future.
Alright. So Timothy continues to concentrate and stare for a little while before smiling. Well, I guess it's okay. Yeah, I could do more thinking.
Very well, then as I have said, the moment you start showing promise and I see some real effort on your part, we will take you out of school.
Martin, Timothy will go, "Wow, you hear that, Martin?" And he'll give him like a little shake, and Martin will just go, "Mm-hmm," and then finish off his coffee.
Just one more thing, Timothy. You cannot speak to Martin about any of these that just happened.
I'm not deaf, you know.
I know, Martin. One moment. We'll be right back to you in one moment. Is that understood, Timothy?
I don't know. I tell him everything.
Right, but you can't tell him this, otherwise he will keep you in school.
Oh man, I don't want to lie to him.
Well, you don't have to lie to him, just don't tell him about this.
Doop-a-doo. Well, and he seems very conflicted, and Martin is sort of scowling at you. He's
Look,
not gonna drop out of school, you know.
it's fine, Timothy. If you don't want to do this, we don't have to do this. This is completely your... this is completely up to you. Your choice.
I don't want to hide things from my brother.
It's fine. As I say, you don't have to do
Martin,
this.
please, can I drop out, please? And Martin is just like looking down to him. He's like, "No, you're going to go to school. He's not the one in charge here."
It's true. I am not the one in charge. If you decide to do what your brother says, I will not go against your brother.
But I want to learn. He says, looking at you.
No, I understand this and I want to teach you, but unfortunately you have laid out the terms before me. And despite the fact that you are a child and I am a very own grown man, I will respect the wishes of a child. I have simply made things appropriate that we may discuss things undisturbed by your older brother for the time being. He can still hear us, however he will not interrupt in our discussions. However, you can also still hear his true opinion of things. If it turns out that you wish to follow the teachings plan that I have laid out before you, I will wipe your brother's memory of this and you will have to keep that a secret from him. If not, well then you two will remember everything and I will go my separate way.
Martin is sort of looking at you and raising another eyebrow at you. And he's tugging Timothy as he starts to stand up. "Come on, Timothy. I think it's time for us to go."
But Martin, you have not finished your food.
"No, I'm done." And you take a look at his plate, and it is actually cleared.
Oh, okay. I was hoping you were going to say he's bleeding from the nose because he's tapped soaks.
He finished off his coffee and everything. And he'll look at you, and as he's pulling Timothy away and trying to help his coat back on. "I appreciate the dinner, Dante, but I'd appreciate it if you didn't try to interfere with Timothy's studies."
I will hold my hands together on the top of the table, and I will nod sagely. It was a great pleasure getting to know the two of you. I highly regret my actions here tonight, and I am regretful to see you go. It was as I said, a pleasure to have you as fans, and I understand if you never want to see me again. Timothy, the best of luck to you. I hope all the things in the world for you. Martin, I am sorry for what I did, and when you come out of this, free punch to the gut. How about that? Remember that, but don't come back. Yes, you heard me. Hopefully it doesn't... I've heard things about getting punched in the gut unexpectedly. Other magicians, it's a wise tale. Goes around.
Aha, magician's thing. Cool. Got it. Timothy, no, your arm goes through here, not through your neck. He says as he tries to manage the coat back on. Dante, you just need to, you need a... I don't even know. And he just shakes his head.
I'm torn between getting the things I want and messing with people. I don't like to mess with people, but sometimes it's completely necessary.
I'm just trying to think about, like, the position you just kind of put him in and what he's thinking.
Which
exactly. One? Probably both of them, honestly.
Yeah, I know. I've messed with Martin now, which can't be great. And...
Martin, just sighs heavily and goes, if you need any more help moving things in that truck, you can always give me a call. Okay?
I do not like to have to mess with that truck. You know, the stolen truck that you filled with explosives.
Huh? I have nothing to do with those trucks.
It's the truck.
Not yours, anyway.
Yes, that is
Zamek could use a hand anyway.
That is the truck Zamek stole. The one that you brought explosives
Are you saying that in public in a diner?
I'm assuming that we're somewhere
explosives and stole.
I'm assuming that we're somewhere in the diner where this entire conversation has been going on unchecked.
It is a public one-room diner.
Well, again, you did not describe it as being full or anything.
It's still a public setting, is what I'm saying.
Sure, but I mean, if you say we have a conversation in a park, I'm not going to expect that it's like Times Square in the park. You didn't.
I'm giving you the chance to modify what you were saying in public.
Well, I'm taking the moment to modify that the entire conversation I wouldn't have had if I was around other people.
You hadn't really said anything too weird if anyone happened to have been listening anywhere.
I had a whole conversation about abducting a child
courtesy,
and taking him out of school to teach him secret magic. So yeah, the moment you didn't describe anyone else in the diner, so I just assumed that we were at an empty diner.
Right, but there's a difference between like you can drop out and learn magic, and it's like, oh, by the way, crimes and explosives. Just saying. We can cover this more later, but how do you want to wrap this up then? What did you want to finish off saying then?
I don't know. You've taken me so far out of it by suggesting that this is a full diner.
All right.
I mean, I don't know what
to
do anymore.
Martin, let's resume where we left off. Martin has last said, feel free to give me a call if you need anything moved into that truck again.
I mean, I'll just let them leave.
Zamek looks like he could use the help.
I will just let them leave. I mean, I don't have anything more to say now.
Okay. So, Martin will walk Timothy out, and Timothy will wave and go, see you next time!
I mean, I'll wave. It's probably the last time I'm going to see them. I can just take them off of the opinion sheet now. Or move them to the negative side.
Alright. So we'll go ahead and wrap that up, and that'll be your evening. Okay. So that at least gets everyone back into the city, then. So let's go ahead and move over to Claudia, finally.
Hello.
All right, so that was a little bit more than I was expecting, but that's okay. Claudia, you have had a wonderful week relaxing, telling other people to do work instead of you.
Well, no, that's not the kind of person I am. Remember, I'm angry Batwoman.
Right, but you're not a construction worker, and allow me to explain. You would have been able to manage get a work crew up to your house to fix what is ultimately superficial damage to the facade.
Well, there's two problems though. There's my house, but there's also Breakstone Manor, which because they also went and vandalized Breakstone Manor, right?
Right. And William, having checked his properties, will see that it has in fact been burned almost to the ground.
So here's the question.
Along with a number of his other properties.
Well, I don't think we've reported William Breakstone as being alive.
No, I'm still very much here in the flesh, and I think the only people who might have known would have been my lawyers.
Right. So basically, I wouldn't tell Breakstone this. I'm going to say, well, the plan was to send him to a rescuer, either somewhere else in the U.S. or best of all overseas. They still have those places to help you get cured from tuberculosis. I mean, come on. We have biotic diseases. An antibiotic to get rid of those? That's just madness. What are you talking about?
Who could ever dare to think of such a thing? To thwart God himself if he wants you dead.
That would be amazing to be able to keep wounds from getting infected, but a pipe dream at best.
Indeed.
So I want to send him abroad, but that means I still have power of attorney, which means I technically own his house.
Okay, so during the week you do want to try sending him away, but you said you don't want to tell him this?
I'm going to send him away, but I don't. It's in his best interest that we keep this low profile, because we mentioned in the news that he was found and discovered and went overseas. That kind of defeats the point. That gives him a trail to look for. We're deliberately sending him under an assumed name.
You mentioned that part to him, right?
Yeah, I totally tell him that.
Okay,
I mean, there are people out who want to kill you and can control minds.
There we go. Cool. Okay, so he will very much nod and agree. So I think I shouldn't spend very much more time in the city. That's for sure.
And it's not that hard to send for rich people to send somebody overseas for a rescue. People like have exhaustion or unwanted babies all the time.
Right. And William will explain. I had a few people check on my properties, and my bank is in touch, so I'm still more or less in the green, regardless of the damage they've done. It's not like those properties had done much over the years anyway. Well, I've arranged to have them bulldozed.
Now, when you say arrange, the problem is I'm not understanding where Breakstone says he's made any arrangements. In order for him to make any arrangements, he would have to tell people he's alive. And
I still own a fair number of corporate shares and have a number of different people working for me throughout the city. Or at least I used to. It's down to about 3 people now.
All right, I want to talk to the GM for a moment.
Okay, I'm sorry. I think I'm panicking a a little bit, honestly.
No,
because I wanted to segue into you sending him away.
So I want to kind of understand. I want to understand where the status is here. So I was called into the lawyer's office. I went to the lawyers to explain to them that I was worried about Breakstone disappearing. And if I understood the narrative correctly, the lawyers had declared him dead and or missing. I'm basically legally dead, and given me power of attorney over his estate. Is that correct?
As it had gone, he had purposely manipulated them into not triggering the notice that he would be dead and that they should follow through. So the paper's still there, and they haven't been informed. And in fact, you made them aware of it.
So I just want to ask you, yes. So I do not have power of attorney over his estate.
Not at present, and definitely not if he shows up at his lawyer's office.
Okay, that's where I'm mistaken. I thought I had been given power of attorney over his estate.
There you go. But William is will go ahead and state something to the effect of, I've talked to my lawyers and I've arranged for a trust. While I'm out of the country, I am entrusting these properties to you. Not quite so much as if I had died, but, well, I still trust your judgment greatly, Claudia.
That's fine. That just changes my plans a little bit. Okay, I'm totally cool with this. That's why I was asking. I thought I had power of attorney. I do not. So
there we go.
The restoration of the... Well, now I guess I'm going to meet with the Because I'm guessing I also go ahead and meet with the insurance companies, and there's probably 2 different ones. I have written instructions that say I'm allowed to act in the matters of Breakstone's estate. Because on my estate, the insurance adjusters will come by. They'll say, this is superficial damage. Here's what we'll cover, and I'll pay for that. Breakstone Manor, though, I believe, was burned to the ground, right?
Yes. There is very scant that remains there, except for the foundation.
Well, then I would have to ask Breakstone before he leaves, what do you want to do with your house? I mean, it's a total loss. Yeah, I can tell that even before the insurance adjusters arrive.
Well, there's honestly not much to it. I suppose it should be just bulldozed across and maybe a new house built.
Then that's what we'll do. Okay, I'll talk to the insurance people.
I believe I have the plans in one vault or another, if you want to have those. If you want to reproduce it as it was.
Well, it's your estate. We should reproduce it the way you want it reproduced.
I'm sure my family would appreciate coming back and pretending as if it didn't burn down.
I could just nod. Like, I don't have any response to that. Oh, it's nice that you rebuilt the house after it burned down. That's the basic hospitality.
It is mindful and proper, but it's still part of the family. I imagine they had some sentimental value to it as it was.
Well, let's get you on the train before you're murdered.
Before we go out on the train, there should be some boxes of mine at this location. It should have a small bit of the research that I've done that others haven't taken.
Wow, secret research.
It shouldn't be too much. All the important things have been taken, I think. Such as it is. But, Breakstone will go ahead and also, once you get to seeing him off on the train, he will actually, stop and, turn around. He will reach into his shirt and pull out a simple necklace, which he had been wearing. A simple purple stone, held up with leather that is nearly transparent. I want you to have this. I got it when I was in South America. It's given me good fortune, and well, I suppose as much as that's worth. Funny saying being kidnapped by my former friends.
I know, I'm gonna bite my lip. Good fortune. The fact that my house is burned down and a cult has controlled my mind, it made me their slave.
And I suppose as much as my life had slipped out of my own control, I was still barreling into success with it.
All right, I'll make a mind academics roll and know absolutely nothing about this necklace.
It's pretty.
Well, thank you.
I'm maybe you could bring you a little bit of good luck while I'm gone.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, still having it and thinking about it, I still can't help but feel I can't remedy any of the things that I've done. I suppose I'm just not all that great at making good decisions, am I? I could have all the advantages and luck I could ask for, and I could still get everything wrong.
Bill, you've been living in extraordinary circumstances. You've done as well as anyone could have ever expected of you.
He'll smile to that, and he'll put a hand on your shoulder as well. It's like, I'm still impressed every time that I've needed you, Claudia. You've been there for me. And you have a far better head for solving these kind of problems than I do.
I remember
can't do any worse than I have.
I every day I remember what it was to suffer a great loss. And I wouldn't want anyone else to suffer the same way that I have. Cue Danny Elfmancourt.
He'll nod a little bit and reach out to hug you. I'll try to make sure you don't lose one more person then. I should be safe out there, but I'll send you a letter anyway.
Yes, we'll correspond often. So I can tell you it will be months before your house is repaired.
I look forward to hearing more from you and not hearing any ill news at all. Goodbye, Claudia. Perhaps next year things will be better.
This is only au revoir. It is not goodbye.
And he'll wait for you as the train departs, right out into the dawn. And there you are with a little purple necklace,
Yeah, I'm not
the
putting
address
this on.
for a warehouse full of notes far beyond your comprehension, and a full day.
What the hell is this thing? All right, well, time to go visit Emmett.
Yep, time to go visit Emmett. James, it is a new day.
I'll be at the library with Emmett.
There you go. You two have arrived at the library this morning at about the same time. Emmett, of course, is just barely opening the doors as you two arrive. Oh, hello. Pleasure to see you two.
It's
How
always
did
a
the
good
trip
day at
go,
our local
James?
library.
Did everything go well? Did you find the mysterious Bigfoot?
Any Bigfoot you can walk away from is a good one.
It wasn't a it turns out it wasn't a Bigfoot. It turns out it wasn't a Bigfoot. It was something else.
Did you get photos of it? You could probably sell those for a good price.
Oh yes, I did. I'll send the. I'm getting those developed.
Oh, don't
Indeed.
you
I
actually?
imagine you probably have your own development room in your apartment, don't you?
Yeah, don't you have like photography as a gift now?
Was I?
No,
Oh,
last time you
you
got
improved
improved career
you got improved
debunker.
career. Okay, then yeah, you would send it to photography lab. My bad. You have improved career instead. You're a better debunker.
Oh, pictures. That sounds fantastic. Oh, come on inside. I'm about to start some coffee.
Well, yeah, I wanted to hear about this Bigfoot story. Please, James, sit down and regale us with your tale of supernatural adventure.
Well, I tell him about the unions thing and the president and how this thing bit this guy's head off. How I ran away. How I did this. How
Now, do you have the skill presence, which is good storytelling?
oh yeah.
Okay, and we've got skills questioning, so we would ask you lots of primitive questions, and this would be exciting. Wow, more monsters. And
Someone died?
Sadly, you did defeat it, so I can't go up there and punch it to death.
Oh dear, that's awful.
Do trees normally uproot themselves and fly uphill like that?
Well, you see, if the proper magnetism is aligned with the Earth's, then I think I read something about that once.
That's so plausible.
Trees are magnetic and electrically stable, right?
Well, I came to this meeting because I'll go ahead and pull out of my pocket and unwrap it from the handkerchief it's in. I wanted to know if anyone could identify this. It looks pretty simple, but I'm guessing it's some folk jewelry. But the fact that I got it from a friend of mine means it should probably have some provenance, but I don't know the difference between glass jewelry and actual, like, jewelry.
Oh, well, we have, I think this section over here should have some of the geology books. I could go ahead and pull some of them out and take a look for you.
I wouldn't say no.
All right. So, curious as she is, she will go ahead and do so. And I'm just going to double check. I believe she is really good at this the last I checked. I also definitely have not put her stats on.
Yeah, and I know James is also a bookish researcher.
Yes, James. What is your research like? Would you like to do the primary research, or or do you want to assist her?
I want to assist her.
Okay, fair enough. Go ahead and make a mind academics, and you could add in research. Are you a team player, by the way? I don't think you are. Yeah, I didn't think so. Oh, here she is. She has 1, and yep, she has a research, and I think that is about it. Unfortunate. Okay, well, she still has dice. So she's gonna roll. You will give her a d8, and that is 4 successes. Well, Emmett will start browsing through books and will very quickly start narrowing it down on and start pulling over some astronomy textbooks as well and cross-referencing them with the geology text that she's pulled out. Well, it looks to me like this isn't some kind of metal, but I think, according to this one, this type of crystal only forms under brief high-temperature stress. And I think in this book, yes, I believe this might be a very rare example of some kind of glass or crystal from a meteorite. It's amazing.
Well, it is rare. So I guess it does have some sort of value. I don't have Providence calculating this down.
A lot of that got broken up, Rafferty.
I don't know why.
I know.
Right here. I moved it closer to my face. Yeah. Well, I suppose it would be rarer if it fell from the sky, but I'm not sure. How do you know it's from space? It's just a purple glassy stone.
Well, I don't, but I think the crystal type here, which I found in this book, is similar to what's described in this text over here, where another person describes finding a bunch of different types of glass and crystals in recently fallen meteorites.
Well, it could be sort of a rare element. It seems a shame to just put it.
It could be, though I suppose I'm not really sure how it would tell that. At least not straight out just by looking at it. Maybe you need a chemist.
Have to be some sort of like chemist or natural physicist.
And I suppose whether or not it really did come from space, that would be I suppose you just have to ask the person who found it then. I don't see why these types of crystals couldn't form on Earth.
Alas, the person who found it had no idea of its provenance. Knew it as a.
Oh.
In some ways, it is.
That's a shame. Huh. It's weird though. None of the similar crystals like this actually say that purple is one of the colors it's found in. Well, I suppose at least not here on Earth, and she'll just shrug a little bit.
I suppose
Maybe
the next
space
step
crystals are different.
The next step will be to have it properly appraised.
Well, I know, well, you could always go to Macy's and ask one of their jewelers, but, I think I know a couple of places around town that'll give it a fair appraisal.
I'll politely listen to her suggestions, as I am a rich person.
Indeed, and she'll give you a DA to locate someone who might possibly know more to confirm that all of this is true.
Okay, well, that's good to know.
So, James, you got photographs. Was there anything else that you got from the trip?
There was. I got. Well, it died, and I have his corpse, I think.
You hauled a body all the way back here?
I had a truck.
We could have someone dissect it! And she, seems rather excited. Oh, the National Branch will be so happy to hear about all of this. A real life creature to show off. We did it. We actually found a cryptid, and she will reach out to hug you, James.
No problem, though. There is a problem. No problem, though. I should warn you about it. Kind of
Solidified how?
Where did the remains go? I did.
They're probably still in the truck right now, in a box.
And where's the box?
Probably with Dante.
It's I'll show you. I'll show you later. You know, like I'll
Oh.
try to go to Don. Yeah,
well,
it's like I'll be.
well, whenever you come by again, don't forget about the pictures too.
Okay.
I can send those off immediately if you want.
Oh, of course. It's like.
All right. So, I'll go ahead and ask a question. What are you two going to do?
I'm going to Dante.
All right. So you are going to go to Dante's place. Claudia, what do you plan to do?
I plan to so I'm gonna, so I guess at the time period, the insurance investigators would assess the damage to my home and then tell me how much it would cost. I want to make sure that at the same time we're doing the reconstruction, and I should use the breakstone. I want to use the breakstone company for this because I want it traceable to me. I need to go back to the garage that I bought that's on, I guess, Auto Row or whatever.
Right.
And I need to, I'm going to use the same construction workers that are rebuilding the breakstone estate to build the secret lair that's going to be underneath the garage.